So this YSL trial, it definitely has changed since a lot of 4 of the defendants have pled out, but we still got 2 more fighting for their life. And Doug and Max are doing a great job. And I think because it's only 2 defendants now, we can really see how weak the state's case is, right? We are able to see how much evidence they don't have against these guys. That's so right, GB. That's a favorite quote of mine. To whom much is given, much is required. You are so right. But yeah, we're able to see that the state's struggling in this case. They went with confusion this week. You know, we're talking about force and manipulation today and how they are forcing people to testify. We saw YSL Obama get on the stand this week and testify. So nervous. And we're going to talk about why he was nervous, because it was more than just the factual allegations that the state was hanging over his head. We saw Miss Taisha Alexander be forced to testify this week and get on the stand. We're going to talk about the force and manipulation there, and we're going to hear from her attorney as well. And we're also going to talk about how the state uses force and manipulation, like even in the Diddy case. I know everyone remembers that press conference that they did. And when we heard that press conference, we were like, oh, throw Diddy under the jail. Like, under the jail. But now that we're starting to get the bond motions after discovery's been served, the state's case is looking kind of thin. So we're going to get into that tonight. So who's still following the trial? Let me know in the chat. Doug and Max, we got to keep showing up and giving them support. What are y'all thinking? Are y'all feeling like the state has been able to, they only got 2 defendants now, right? So it should be much easier to get us the evidence that we need to see and the jurors need to see to convict the last 2. Do you feel like the state is doing that? See, Curly Lock Diva says she's still following. What do you think? Are we seeing more evidence, or are we seeing more of the bullshit, right? More of them trying to throw everything against the wall, trying to make a case. What does Monique say? We keep forgetting not only are there only 2 defendants left, yes, Monique, but there's also a group of young men who haven't even been to trial yet or had their attorneys yet, who the state says are YSL members too. And Monique Evans is exactly right. There are, I believe, 12 other defendants that are still waiting to go to trial on this case. What's going to happen with their case? Remember, it was 28 in the initial indictment, and some took pleas prior. Some went to trial here, and there were people like Monique states that were still waiting on attorneys. Some of their attorneys got locked up during the prosecution, so they got to get new attorneys assigned, or the cases were severed for that reason. But there's still 12 others. So while we have Shannon SB and Gat Gotti still on trial, we still have 12 others that are facing charges for this bullshit of a case, right? Because they haven't been able to present enough evidence against the 6 they tried in this case. So what other evidence do they have against the other 12, especially when the big fish, Young Thug, is home? He is home with his family and the trial is still going on. But we were told by the state that he was the wolf of the pack, the strength of the pack. It's amazing to me. Right. Jalen says the state needs to stop. They are. GB, the state is grasping at this point. Justin J says, I think each piece of evidence presented has plenty of reasonable doubt due to the Bocce investigation. That is exactly right. And Woody talked about that when he was on the stand, right? He's like, and even during his interviews, like, APD did a horrible investigation. I mean, the crimes that we're hearing about occurred in 2014, 15, 16, 7. It's not even new shit. And the investigators and the detectives, they don't even work for APD anymore. They're bringing back people from the pen to testify. Shout out Mr. Big. Like, it's just ridiculous. And we still don't see Rico. Like Monique Evans says, where's Rico? And King Slime is home. He is home. The big fish is home. Like, as a juror, I'm sorry. If I come back from an 11-day hiatus and I see the big fish is home, and clearly they know he's taking a plea to get home. So one of the jurors said that one of her girlfriends walked in and said, told her that he was home, right? She might not know the particulars, but they know he's home. So what am I gonna do with these other guys if the person you told me was the big fish is home? It's crazy. So hit the like button, and we're gonna get into it. So YSL Obama testified this week, and seeing him testify really broke my heart, right? He was so nervous, swinging in the chair, sipping on his water. I mean, he would speak and you could literally hear his breath shaking. He was so nervous. He actually told the prosecutor that he was super nervous on the stand. And so we're going to take a look at that. Even his walk to the stand show how nervous he was. And now we're going to talk about the sentence he's under. I can't find the factual allegations he signed. They were not filed in the court record. So I don't know exactly what he was supposed to testify to, but we're going to look at the transcript from his plea and go over what Ms. Hilton says he was supposed to bring to this case. And it's really unfortunate that he took a plea to conspiracy when all we kept hearing was other people telling him to do stuff, but he never did anything to follow through with it. And this whole case just really highlights, and I hope you all see it. It highlights just how you can get caught up in this system and end up with convictions for things that they never had the evidence to be able to prove that you did in the first place. In the first place. All right. Yes, he didn't want to end up like Moontung. I'm sure that was all he was thinking about. And not only was he under a plea, the state has already filed to revoke his probation prior to his testimony. We are going to get into that as well. Let me bring up just the beginning of his testimonies. This is just the moments that started to break my heart. It was just so unfortunate to see him go through this. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. I think I did it right. Yes. Okay. And let me play.
Yes, sir. Antonio Sumlin, ANTONIO SUMLIN.
And Mr. Sumlin, how old are you?
34.
And are you employed?
Not right now.
Where are you from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
And what part of Atlanta?
The Cleveland Avenue area.
Okay. And if you're going to swing the shot, you speak in your mic. So are you a little nervous?
A little.
A lot. Okay. Well, don't swing in your chair just so that the jurors can hear you, okay? Did you say you're from the Cleveland Avenue area?
Yes, ma'am.
From start, you can see it. He's swinging in his chair. His voice is already shaking from start.